This is Aussie Mac Zone. We'll cover everything Apple, including Macs, iPhones, iPads, and more. All this from an Aussie perspective. Sit back, relax, insert yourself into the zone. The Aussie Mac Zone.
Hello everybody, welcome to show 241 Aussie Mac Zone. This week's sponsors, athwebhosting.com.au and aussietechradio.com. And joining me this week is Zarn. How are you, bud?
Good, mate. How are you, Michael?
Very good, thank you.
Excellent. Are we excited about tonight's show?
We are, very. After what happened last week, there was things to talk about.
I've been reading the notes and I'm excited to talk about some of all of the stuff, but some of the stuff in particular.
Excellent. So our Aussie Apple ramblings this week, story number one. Well, what a week last week was. The WWDC 18 appears to have been a success. So let's start with the Apple Design Awards because I think they should all rate a mention. Very important.
Yep.
So we have Agenda, which is a new take on Notes, and that's a note-taking app where you tie it into your calendar, for example, one place, and you can start going through there. I'm actually giving that a go myself, trying it out. There's another one which is Bandymail, which is a game-type thing. Calzi, which is another calendar app. I translate Converse. Pardon me. I translate Converse, which is you set up. So, for example, you can have what they do in the demo. I think it was Italian and Chinese, or English and Chinese, where he would speak in English. Then your phone would then speak in Chinese. Then the Chinese person would then speak in Chinese and it would translate it back to English. So you could have a conversation. It was really good. This next one, Triton Sponge, which was amazing because now it may sound a bit gross. They use it in operating wards. So they've got a special camera attached to an iPad and they have the sponges, so they hold it up and it measures how much blood was on the sponge. So obviously they're sort of calibrated rags to start with. Sponges are rags. So just by holding it up and then you hold another one up and you hold another one up, and it actually also makes sure that if you hold the same one up again, it says, oh, no, we've already measured that one. Even if you held it up upside down, it would know. And it's so you know how much blood to give back to the person that they've lost during the operation. Astounding, amazing.
That'd be also good for serial killers to know how much blood they've taken.
That's exactly right, yeah. Another game, Florence. Then there's one called Mountains, which was a Melbourne Australian company. Playdead's Inside, Alto's Odyssey, Frost, Oddmar, and you can go on to developer.apple.com/design/awards and you can actually watch the whole show and see what they do and why they were thought to be so special. But yeah, just like you don't even think about measuring blood on a rag. Like it's just
I know, that's amazing. That's actually really cool technology.
It is just seeing it in action. It is really cool. Now, also when they had the AR gaming lounge set up, apparently at the Worldwide Developers Conference. So this year, entering through the front doors drop you not only into the main lobby, but right in front of the new AR game lounge. Apple didn't just introduce AR Kit 2 with shared experiences at WWDC 18. The company built a sample Swift Shot slingshot game and set up 3 tables for developers to try it out. More and more challenging layouts were added to the game over the course of the week as well, and the lines of developers waiting to try it were often long. Each player got an iPad to see into the AR game world, and an Apple staff member had a third gamepad to broadcast the world onto a TV so everyone could enjoy the action. It made the sample code into a sample experience and one that sold the potential of AR gaming in a way not a simple presentation ever could. And winners of the Slingshot game got an AR kit pin for their collections. And the winner of the final tournament on the final day got the whole collection. Because they started to introduce these little pins that you can put on your jacket.
Yeah, they're like little medals, but the pins
for each course that you attended, for example, but again in that game situation.
Yeah, they're cool collectibles. I've got heaps of
absolutely,
pins, from Loot Crate and stuff like that because I collect loot crates.
Yeah,
and each loot crate comes with its own pin, so it's this its number. This is what it was. So that's really cool.
Now, a reminder this week: we are brought to you by athwebhosting.com.au. We want everyone to go and have a look at athwebhosting.com.au/sitepad, just to get you going and interested in building your own website. Now, story number 3, accessibility.
Before we we go on to story number 3.
Yeah.
So the game that they were playing and was live with the AR, because I watched I watched the video, you watched the video.
Yeah.
It was so cool. Like being able to watch them play the game, up on the screen while, these guys are down here with the pads and everything like that.
Yeah.
Completely, all it was wooden blocks on the table, and then they had the screens, and then they had the slingshots in the screens, but they weren't on the table, but still knocking everything down, and it was just excellent. It looked like such a fun game to play anyway, but the fact that it was AR was just awesome.
A very simple game, which made it incredibly attractive.
Yeah, exactly. And from viewers, hello Harley, hello Lucy, hello Kellyanne, hello Mason and Hunter.
Yeah, and another viewer, happy birthday to Jodie. I know Jodie is one of our sometimes viewers, and it's her birthday today.
Oh, so there you go. Happy birthday, Jodie. And hello to Karen as well, who's always viewing, because I think if she didn't, she'd probably get murdered. But I'm only joking. I did not say that on live. All right, back to you, Michael.
Yeah, accessibility. During WWDC 18, one developer wrote an iPhone app that lets you control your iPhone with your eyes and look at a button to select it and then blink to press it. So this is with the new way of interacting with the camera, and he was made aware of the things and just went there and wrote the app. So it's already been done.
That's a really cool app as well, like the accessibility of it, being able to use your eyes and things like that.
Yeah.
As but the viewers may not. I work with people with disabilities, and I think this is just a fantastic app.
Yeah.
And it'd be great to see it in full production and full swing for people that have sort of low mobility to be able to use their phone a little bit better. So
yeah,
it's awesome.
It's terrific. Yep. What else was there? Yeah. What about here's a new one coming forward too, which we didn't hear about. Multi-faces for Face ID and Face ID for iPad have been snuck out. So a few quick tidbits about Face ID have come out over the past couple of days. First up, a report from 9to5Mac says Face ID in the iOS 12 beta includes an option to set up an alternative appearance. So while the phrasing of that feature is a little bit odd, the supposition is that it will allow two separate people to access a single device via Face ID. That would fix one of the most annoying issues with Face ID, which is that if you want somebody else to have access to your phone, a partner, for example, or a child, you need to tell them your passcode. And this leads directly into another tidbit. Developer Guilherme Rambo uncovered the user interface for Face ID in the iPad build for iOS 12, lending credence that a tablet with the feature might appear later this year. And to bring it all together, people are far more likely to share an iPad than an iPhone, so allowing multiple people to use Face ID on the tablet would be a must. And thanks to 6 Colours for that information. Mac OS, the new one coming, Mojave, the final version to support 32-bit apps. So during the State of the Union presentation, Apple confirmed that Mojave will be the last version of Mac OS to support 32-bit apps. And when a user tries to open a 32-bit app, Mojave currently displays a one-time warning that the app will no longer work in future versions of Mac OS. Thanks to macOSstories.net for that. Now, also our reminder this week, we are brought to you by Aussie Tech Radio at aussietechradio.com. We have our award-winning superstar Aussie Tech Heads podcast and our sister podcast, the Aussie Tech Crypto, and My Tech Opinion, and other podcasts from around Australia, all going 24/7, updated every Friday. WatchOS 5 highlights, device compatibility. This is the first one. So Series O Apple Watch owners, that's the first person to have an Apple Watch. No WatchOS 5 for you. You'll need at least a Series 1 or better to get the next operating system. Just be aware of that.
So that means first gen, it's not going to work with first gen, is that right?
That's right. Series O, which is the first generation, won't get WatchOS. So what we've got on there now is basically the latest and last. So we won't be able to have what wasn't intercom, it was called I can't remember now. Press to talk messaging. Anyway, the press to talk messaging, we won't have that. We won't have the customizable control center I'm about to talk about. So after iOS 11 introduced a fully customizable control center, Apple Watch owners immediately put that feature on their WatchOS wish lists. Unfortunately, we didn't have to wait long. While Control Center in WatchOS 5 isn't quite as customizable as its iOS counterpart, you can't disable any of its options. It does allow you to rearrange all its toggles to your heart's content thanks to an edit button. Now, several years into its life, the Apple Watch is still the most painful Apple device to download updates for. One of the new features in WatchOS 5 will hopefully help alleviate the pain is overnight updates. Little is known about this feature because it doesn't appear to be present in the current beta. But because you've got to stop, you've got to download, you've got to wait. It takes best part of half an hour to update the phone each time. So, the new one will hopefully it'll happen automatically overnight they're assuming while it's on charge on the stand. Because it's always got to be more than 50% charged. It's got to be on charge, etc. So, HTTP, thanks to Mac Stories again, macstories.net for that story.
I just want to apologise to viewers then for the screen. I was talking to another viewer and didn't realise I hadn't changed the screen back from the ad.
Yes, it's hard to know. So that's all right. Plug the ad. Now, a couple of things coming up in the next version of macOS Mojave. Mail improvements. Mail. Everyone complains about Mail all the time. Still, everyone uses it, but everyone wants something else in it. So Mail now has a better support for entering emoji, including an emoji button. And Mail also suggests what folder you might want to file a selected message in. custom save location for screenshots. This is one of the features that's gotten almost no attention in the history of Mac OS or OS X or Mac OS X. So it's nice to see it got some love here. Among the other improvements to Apple's screenshot is the ability to set a custom save location. Now, you've always been able to go in and change the location. You've just got to go into Terminal and type out an instruction of where you want it to be, and you can do it. It's not that hard. That's if you wanted somewhere special so they wouldn't just keep tons of them appearing on your desktop. So, yeah, that was always a way to do it. So, young Zarn, anything else? Anything from the viewers? Any questions? Any comments?
Well, I was just actually, the reason why that happened is because I had a question from Brad Latham, and he's wondering why his modem, what's it saying here? Any idea how to make my Foxtel modem faster? He's running a Netgear Foxtel hub. And he wants to know why it's running so slow. I think for one, Foxtel is a third-party provider, so they're piggybacking off someone else's bandwidth, and the Netgear supplied by them may need just a reset, or and set back up, or
has he? Is it this in Wi-Fi that we're talking about, or that is very slow, or is it everything? Everything is slow, even the direct connection.
That's a good
because we know how bad those Netgear modems are for Wi-Fi.
That's right. I'll ask him terrible. Right now. Yeah.
While we're doing that, this week in Apple history, I like this section because it actually gives me something to
I really like this section too. I like the history part and remembering the computers I used as a kid at school.
So there wasn't a lot in this week, but the Switcher campaign starts. So in 2002, Apple's somewhat famous Switcher campaign was launched. The Switcher campaign featured interviews of people who had switched to the Mac and why they had switched. Whether or not the campaign was an actual success, this campaign got lots of people talking about the Mac and caused Microsoft to post its own falsified Switcher stories. Now, why I found out about, so I had to dig down about the falsified stories. So then I just do that and open that in a special page I had. Yeah. I'll read out about the falsified story. It's loading, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
It's because we're using up all the bandwidth doing everything else. So
I'm using my own bandwidth on my phone, by the way.
So now, within a few minutes of posting this story, Microsoft pulled its Switcher story. So Microsoft, in its tried and true tradition of copying everything it can from its competitors, has posted its own Mac to Windows Switcher story. And this is from 2002. No, seriously, the company has posted a Switcher story from a freelance writer touting the wonders of Windows XP. And there are a few differences in Microsoft's approach to switching. For one thing, the company used a stock photo image of their switcher from Getty Images, and we can thank a reader for finding that one. Apple used real images of real people who have switched to the Mac for its campaign. And speaking of real people, the woman's name is apparently Don Funk. According to the user profile screenshot posted with the story, again, thanks to another person in Slashdot for finding that. Other tidbits from the woman's letter include the fact that she got Windows XP on a laptop for US $450, on a laptop for US $450 less than an iBook, even though She then suggests upgrading to Windows XP Professional without managing the cost of the upgrade, which eats into the 450 a little bit. So thanks to TMO Forum for pointing that out. She also has a very subtle bit of wording to portray a situation that is not true. She says AppleWorks, previously called ClarisWorks, pales in comparison to Microsoft Office XP. There's no equivalent for the versatility of Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. There may be no equivalent for the versatility of those apps, but all three exist on Mac OS X. Her wording suggests otherwise, and that seems deliberately crafted to us. She also touts the wonderment of being able to make individual user accounts in Windows XP, suggesting, without actually saying, that it can't be done with a Mac, despite the fact that both Mac OS 9 and Mac OS 10 offer that feature. And the best thing from its switcher story is that she apparently works for Microsoft. We aren't making this up. At the end of the letter and the how she did it section is the editor's note that reads, now that we've successfully converted our writer to Windows PC, we will be working on getting her to try a Pocket PC. Stay tuned for more developments.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Well, all right.
So, yes, they've been, why they make up so much information. Notice they pulled it straight away. So
they were found out, pulled the story.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Just something different. That's why it was.
I love that we're in an age of just like absolute fake news.
That was from 2002.
I know. That's all. I mean, we're in an age like so. You know. Yeah. What else have we got on here? Let me have a look. We've said hello to everybody. There's no more questions.
No. Just getting back to our friend, if it is the Wi-Fi is having a bad time with because of the speed, you'll have to
set up a ether cable. Yeah,
an Ethernet cable, or shop around at second-hand shops and stuff and try and get an Apple time capsule. You know, even if the drive isn't working, you can still Ethernet into that and use that for your Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Like, just get them to take the drive out. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
You know? And you know from experience what the difference in the quality of the Wi-Fi signal is.
I do. We're battling a horrible Wi-Fi signal again now because I need to set up the Mac one again.
Yeah.
So I can get better signal, but it's 100 times better with the Mac one. So
it's just the Apple time capsule,
Yeah.
Ethernet into your router.
Yep. It's just so smooth, and you know, like it's where with the other the cheaper, you know, sort of you get this, you know, free for you know paying this much for 24 months worth of connection. I've had a lot of issues with older ones. I won't say where I got them from, but I got 2 brand new ones that actually just didn't work. And you know, with the Mac one, it's great. It doesn't fail and it runs smoothly. You get a great connection every time. Not that I'm biased.
Like Steve said,
and I am.
It just works.
That's right.
So any more that you can think of from things that you might have seen, heard?
I've been really busy the last few days, so I haven't seen or heard anything. Actually, that's a lie. When I was over the other day, and we're watching bits and pieces of the
developers conference.
The developers conference. What were we watching at the time?
Oh, there was the awards. There was the
when I was over. It wasn't the awards. It was
the podcast analytics.
Yes, the podcast analytics.
Yeah,
for people who are wanting to set up a podcast using their Mac phone and things like that. You know, it just if you're just doing, sort of voice instead of video and stuff like that, it's, Mac have made it so simple just to sit down and, have a conversation with someone, record it and, set it free into the world.
Yep.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. And another thing that will make you and others happy. So, what's the name of that? The gaming platform?
Steam,
yeah. So we believe that problem will be resolved fairly soon, going on a few changes that have happened on the back end for the Mac platform, and with the new Mojave and iOS 12, where it's got to actually ask you permission to do things.
Yep.
Yeah, but it basically came down to buying stuff in the background and circumventing Apple's system. Basically, I think that's where it came from. But yeah, we believe that might be resolved shortly. So
that's good. That's really
everyone's
good news.
looking forward to it. Yeah.
Being able to use your Mac system for all the gaming stuff that you want to do and everything like that, so you don't. So you don't have to use a PC.
Yeah.
Even you don't even have to use a console with Steam. You can just go straight ahead and go into it like that. And running straight from your laptop as well is excellent. It means you can, be in your room. You can be anywhere because it's portable and still be able to game. So that's really good news. I like that.
So we're hoping that shows up shortly.
Excellent.
Now, show promotion. Don't forget there is a show notes link in each week on the show that you upload. Spotify, you just search for Aussie Mac Zone, or Apple News, you just go do a search for Aussie Mac Zone as well. Click the heart on how to favourite. Now, also, for those who may not have seen it or got it or be aware, that we did put out a special show last week.
That's right, yep.
Because I chucked one together last Monday night for just most of the news, but then we did a worldwide developers special. So if you haven't shown that up in your feed, please have a look around for that.
That's right. So that's that was done by yourself on Monday.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
That just again, viewers, it was just the news that was going on, and then on Tuesday we did do the special, the 2-hour special.
With Glenn.
Yeah, with Glenn, which was a fantastic episode, and we really sort of got stuck into what was all new and fancy and fun with what we're getting with the
iOS 12
and Mojave, and the watch, and so
Yep. So that was 24 hours after the event. We'd also had a chance to listen to some of the State of the Union, which is another big discussion they have, where they get a bit more into what's actually happened instead of just breezing past it. So it's a bit more technical, but if you can dig that up and let us know what you think too.
That's right. And if you guys have any more questions and stuff like that, you can leave a message on our Facebook page.
Yep.
Or message straight from the Facebook page, and one of us will try to either get back to you or
bring it up on the show.
Bring it up on the show, and either direct you to Michael or
anything you can suggest. Anything you want to know, we will try and find it for you.
That's right.
Now, thank you to our sponsors. This week being athwebhosting.com.au and aussietechradio.com. And our supporters, you, our listeners, thank you very much.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Thanks for the comments tonight. It was really good. And remember, apple a day keeps androids away.
Cheers.
Thank you.